to have some. So say your kids are looking for their dad and aren't able to spend time with him and are seeing that he's choosing death over being in their world physically. And to them, they might have this same perception of you, I wonder, of like, okay, well, you know, it's not his fault, he doesn't choose to be crazy, he can't help but think that he needs to die. And maybe they'll find that same understanding as like the way.
Maybe, and maybe they could find peace in that for a moment. But if perchance they wouldn't get to see me again, then they would analyze me enough to know my great love for them and to know that this is more than some crazy fanatical guy doing this thing to avoid real world things. I would trust any children I have will be like any other children, go through their traumas, be smart, be their own persons, and hopefully have loving people who say the word patience at them a lot.
What do you hope to accomplish being dead?
I hope not to die, and I've said it's not to prove a point. It's not some great cause, ultimately. It's just that I cannot live in a world that forces me to pay to sleep.
You choose not to, or you cannot?
My integrity could never have it so.
What would your integrity do?
Exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. So you feel like you don't have any choice.
And also I'm not a perfect predictor. And so we'll see if I actually have to die for this thing, or if we can pull off some sort of miracle and actually get the right to sleep during the day challenged in a Supreme Court somewhere, and then I can make a really funny and quaint video about my first meal.
And if this case is seen before the Supreme Court, it will be with somebody else. It will be somebody else getting arrested.
That's the way it's looking. The two lawyers that covered the first case that recognized the right to have tents, the right to sleep and thereby have a tent, they have agreed to represent someone challenging this thing in the Supreme Court of BC, which can't be me because I already did it and lost. And so that's sort of the job now, is seeing if there's someone out there who can take a few moments to do the part about getting a ticket or getting arrested and losing in provincial court, and then having these two awesome, top-of-the-line, high-class constitutional lawyers cover you in a constitutional case to challenge the 7-7 bylaw.
Now, if that happens, what are you going to do, other than start eating?
I'm going to continue to comply with my probation orders. I'm going to continue the intermittent sentence of going to jail on the weekends and seeing probation. I will make a sentence appeal to have this particular sentence that I'm on put off until this other thing is heard, or to have it change slightly. And then survive the best I can.
So will you be open to there being other paths in your world? Will it still be working for the right to sleep in some way or another?
As long as this case would be integral. Like, this case will have to win eventually.
In order for you to remain alive, as long as your natural life.
But in the meantime, it's a matter of awareness raising.
Okay. Around the fact that we're not free.
Well, not free, and the fact that everyone in the Commonwealth, let alone Canada, has a precedent-setting thing here in Victoria that no one seems to know about, that you can have a tent at night in a city, and that the determination to have a tent in the day is the thing that brings exactly what Occupy wanted, with the tent city, and tent cities becoming the normal thing in every municipality in the world. That is essentially acknowledging that there's a global emergent state and getting through it as a community and not as an enforced work project.
Do you feel like what you're up to is like getting through it with a community, or is it an enforced work project?
What I'm doing feels like a job.
Are you getting paid?
In spades.
Yeah? Like, do you feel like you are getting paid?
My spirit is I'm happy all the time. All the time. It's sort of like when you're hitchhiking and you're in the hot, no shade, 35 above, you've been there for a day and a half, and mosquitoes ate you all night, and you didn't sleep at all, and you sweated, and you're already walked 18 miles, and you're just sore. And you're just loving it.
That's what it feels like?
Yeah.
Do you ever wish that you got a different assignment? Like, for example, being like hands-on dad? Maybe farming for the food for your kids?
I think that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, essentially. That I don't get to have my own life until this is done. Because that's sort of, it's always been selfish. It's always been for me. I want my own life. But I don't get to have my own life until this is done. But people have never seen me with my own life. People see me with my own home. It's going to be beautiful.
So would you rather be parenting your kids?
I would like to see my kids seeing me as being a great parent doing what I'm doing.
How so?
I'm saving the world.
Yeah, but it's like, it could be like the lawyers. The lawyers go to work, and they never see their kids. Their kids go through and get like parented by other people, and then they're like, yeah, but I gotta go. I'm doing this for your future. I'm doing this for your future. But all the kids know is that you're not home.
Yeah, except this is the actual saving the world.
Well, like, I don't know, Kathy and Irene, I don't know their personal life, but like those top, like the folks that are actually going to challenge it in the Constitution and went to school so long that they could do that, like it's the same fight as you, right? It's a lot of sacrifice being right
Sort
in
of.
there.
And in the end, let's hope that I won't feel obliged to finish the job. May we all find a strategically peaceful way out of this.
Yeah, I guess.
And yeah. It's sort of like a war, and every father should be doing what I'm doing.
But they don't have a choice.
No, they don't. But may they come to see the light and stop acting like this world is something to maintain.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me
I do
feels
know.
like, well, I don't know. Part of me feels like giving you a big old fuck you for my dad who worked really hard.
I know, and every grandparent and everyone who worked all their lives so hard to maintain in this world. And they were deceived too.
Kind of, but like I don't know, my dad's a firefighter. Like we need people to save folks from burning buildings. That's like kind of what you think you're doing, right?
At what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? For you feel like your whole life would be the cost. My dad totally did risk his life, like every day he went into work, but you know, and was totally willing to die for it. For us.
So he could pay for your sleep.
So he could save lives and support his family, and yeah.